Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we've got a special one for you guys. We have a premium ship. And this one is something you guys might be interested in because you're probably working towards it right now, if you haven't already bought it. It is the Atlanta, Tier 6 American Light Cruiser. Now what are the goods and the bads about the Atlanta? Well, it's relatively mobile. It's pretty maneuverable, and it's got guns and torps. The guns are interesting. So normally on cruisers you run into guns that are 155 millimeters to 203 millimeters in diameter. Not so much on the Atlanta. The Atlanta has a lot of guns, but they're 127 millimeters, which means they're destroyers guns. But what that means is an ungodly amount of reloading and just raw firepower from this thing once it starts cycling. And you're going to get that in full display in just a short amount of time. So while we've got some time, I just want to go over a couple things. First of all, we didn't get a video out last night, and I'll explain. So, I'm not going to lie. I've been trying to get a very specific video, and that specific video was some experimenting with a different commander on my Iowa. And that commander was Willis Scott, I think? Maybe I'm wrong. It was the battleship tank commander, basically, the tank build instead of the dispersion build. I can't remember his name. Kincaid, maybe? I don't remember. Anyway, I talked about him in my commander's video. And so what I was doing was I built a fully secondary, like, just absolutely rip a ship apart from close range, well, actually medium range, because they would reach out and touch you beyond 7 kilometers when they were fully built. And it was effective. But the problem was nobody got the memo. Everybody that I was fighting last night decided, I don't want to chase this Iowa. For some reason, it's like I had a big sign above me that says, if you get close, I'll melt you. And they just refused to get within 10 kilometers of me. Which is rough when you're trying to get a specific video. But this King George went to the right. I felt bad because I spotted a destroyer for just a moment, and he was by himself. So I try to rush back to help him, and this is where the fun starts. Now this King George is gonna get torped really badly, and as you can see, we've got a lot of destroyers out here. We have the Akatsuki, we have, I want to say it was a Jervis in the background, but watch the firepower of this Atlanta. Once you start the Duga-Dugas, they don't stop, they just keep going. All you got to do is change your aim, and I'm not the best at aiming this thing yet. It takes a minute. Because they take so long to get to the target, you can miss quite a few shots before you adjust your aim. And so that's kind of what I ran into. But as you can see, this is absolutely devastating for destroyers. To have this amount, this volume of firepower of raw high explosive coming in the general direction, it's like being attacked by three cruisers, or three destroyers at the same time. And I say that because I was being attacked by 3 or more destroyers at one time. We sunk the first one. This Icarus wants some. He starts sailing away, which is actually the right thing. He's getting outside, well, he's not outside my range, but he's getting outside my ability to be able to hit him effectively. Because once you get to a certain point, it takes so long for my rounds to get to you that you can move out of the way easily. But that being said, this guy didn't get the memo, and he's within 5 kilometers, or yeah, 5 kilometers of me. And so he eats a salvo right off the nose. We get another salvo on him, delete half his health. Go ahead, put another salvo on him. You can see where this is going. It's rinse and repeat with the Atlanta. That's all you got to do. Just rinse and repeat. Catch a destroyer, shoot destroyer over and over again until he submits. And when he doesn't want to submit, which he doesn't really have a choice, you make him submit. So we have a Jervis coming after us now. This is the 3rd destroyer. No, this is actually the 4th destroyer. So we had 4 destroyers come at us, and I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty comical. We've killed 2 of them. There goes the 3rd. We managed to get the 3rd destroyer killed, and we still have the one chasing us off to the left side, which is the Icarus. So now we're gonna start firing at the Icarus and trying to get him off the board. And again, I think he just turns and runs, which is what he should do, because it's not going to go well for you. You're not going to win a fight in a destroyer versus an Atlanta. You're just not. Unless you catch it off guard and you torp the crap out of it, which isn't an easy task, even if you catch it off guard. Unless they sail in a straight line forever, which, not going to lie, I don't. But he gets away. The Icarus gets away. We've got a Fuso, which is a tier 5 battleship, and so we've got to do something about that. We can't just sit here and trade shots. Oh, and look, an Atlanta came to the party. So let's get this straight: 4 destroyers, an Atlanta, and a Fuso, all fighting me. And it's okay. It really is okay because they can't aim. So I'm just gonna sit here and farm them forever, it seems like. I only got 6,000 health left. They've absolutely ruined me up to this point, fighting all of these people. So, when you think about it, I managed to go up against, at some point, it would have been 6 ships. 6 out of 9 people against me. No other ship would be able to put out the amount of effective fire that the Atlanta manages to get out in this situation. The destroyers alone would have killed most ships. Because nobody is afraid of nobody is afraid of most ships when there's multiple destroyers, because a destroyer will just absolutely run up on you and kill you. We've seen it multiple times in my battleships and my cruisers, where people just run up and they kill you before you can get anything out of it. But with the Atlanta, as you can see by what I'm doing to the enemy Atlanta, he's missing all of his shots because I'm turning. I'm still aiming and firing at him. I'm holding the trigger. I'm aiming my shots. But what you don't see is me wiggling my booty every time I get a chance to make sure that his armor piercing hits me as few as possible. Good news is, we've burned him down to the ground and taken away the victory. And then we get shot in the booty, and I try to turn, and by turning I manage to take even more rounds, leaving me with just 750 health. But 750 health is still more than enough in an Atlanta that fires gun after gun without ever seeming to stop. Because by the time, if you're at the effective range of this thing, which is, the maximum you can get, by the time that the rounds impact the target, the next rounds are already in the air, headed that direction. So, that's one unique thing about the Atlanta. That's the one unique thing that you should absolutely know. Now, it does get torpedoes, but honestly, if you're having to use torpedoes in Atlanta, you're playing it wrong. It's for those oh crap moments when somebody sneaks up on you and you know you're probably going to die, so you just throw them anyway. Because they're really bad, the torps are. They're like 4.5 kilometers or maybe 5, something like that, 5.2. I don't remember, but they're really short range. They're American torpedoes. Now we get them set on fire here, and as you can see, this is what I'm talking about with the adjusting aim. So I had already adjusted my aim. I'm just trying to walk the rounds in. It's like firing tracers. You see where your rounds are impacting, and you can be very, very effective with it. It's like aiming a water hose at a moving target. You start walking it in closer and closer, and once you start getting the effective hits that you want, that's where you stop, and that's where you want to keep it. But no, he's not just sitting there taking it either. He's turning as best he can, but he's firing at the battleship, which is preferable. I'm sitting here spotted, firing an unrelenting torrent of fire upon him. I got 700 health left, and he's like, no, I'm going to kill this battleship. Thank you, because now I've got you burning 3 times, and I'm going to try to make it 4. But it's very difficult to get the bow fires going because it's such a narrow area to hit, and it's hard to hit the deck because there's those big turrets there. But we're going to try anyway. And as you can see, when you have 3 fires going, because you waste your fire on you waste your damage control on one fire initially, when you get 3 fires burning for a long time, your health rapidly deteriorates. Even in a battleship, it doesn't matter what you do. But, alas, my fun has come to an end. Managing to stop us at 81,000, nope, make that 81,400, because he's still burning. It looks like he finally put the fire out, but we managed to get him down to such a low health that he's not even a risk at doing much to this New Mexico. New Mexico can bow tank him. He's broadside onto the New Mexico, and the New Mexico can just sit there and delete him, which is preferable. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this nice little showing of the Atlanta, because look at the totals up on the right. What is that? 5 fires set, 1 plane shot down, 233 hits with high explosive, totaling over 80,000 damage, and 4 kills. Managing to hold off for a very long time while fighting 6 enemy ships out of 9. That's a pretty impressive game, if you ask me, and one of those that you just don't get very often. So after all of the trouble that I had last night, and some of the trouble that I had this afternoon when I got home from work, it was kind of nice to just end the day on a very, very fun, good game. And you can see the Fuso starts recovering health, but there's only so much you can do when everybody's looking at you. You're going to die eventually, no matter how much you try to recover. But, as you can see, he's going to melt. And if you're wondering why I didn't switch the camera here, I'll be real honest. I had a good good view of what the battleship had to worry about. Now, I didn't notice that we were about to win the game. We're at 992. Could you imagine if I'd have survived that? If I would have survived that, I would have called shenanigans. But what do we end up with, folks? I think that was a pretty solid game. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I think that was solid. 756,000 credits earned. High caliber, Confederate, 81,000 damage, 4 kills, top of the leaderboard. And did you see the XP? 3,263 XP base. Base XP. 4,895 actual XP. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.